Good evening, Brian. It's Thursday, and that means it's time for a Thursday Top 5, and I'm going to take your advice from earlier a couple weeks ago and talk about the top 5 favorite fountain pens that I own. These were no particular order, so let's get started. This first one you see here is the Pilot Metropolitan. You can't see it too well, but don't worry, you'll see more later. This is the first fountain pen I got, and it is a pretty standard popular recommendation as someone's first fountain pen. It's made out of aluminum, so it's got a nice weight to it and it's well balanced. The nibs are pretty well known for being incredibly smooth, and it's just a very solid, not finicky, good beginner's pen. And even though I have almost 15 pens now, I still really like this one a lot. The next one is a TWSBI Eco, which is another really solid beginner's pen. The benefit to this one is that while the previous one uses either cartridges of ink, which are little tiny bottles that you can insert, or converters, which you can pull in and then fill with whatever ink you want, this whole pen uses a fountain. This pen uses a piston filling system. That was hard for me to say, where the entire body of the pen can be filled up with ink, and then it's also clear, which is a demonstrator, so you can see the purple ink right now sloshing around in it. It's also just a very solid pen. It feels good to use, and the nib is also incredibly smooth, so it's a real pleasure to write with. This next one is the Pilot Prera. It's the same brand as the first one, Pilot, but it's a nice step up. It's just got the feel and look of a very classy, sort of old-fashioned pen. The Pilot nib is really, really smooth and soft and easy to write with. It's even better than the Pilot Metropolitan nib, I feel like. And so every time I pick it up, it just feels really good in my hand. It's a pleasure to write with. It's so much fun to use, and it's just a really solid pen. I really, really like using it. It's a little bit higher end than the Pilot Metropolitan. It's more of an intermediate beginner pen, but as in terms of price, but it's just a really solid one. This is a recent acquisition. This is the Retro 51 Tornado fountain pen. I've got their roller balls, which are some of the best non-fountain pens that I own, but this one I saw at the pen show I went to a few weeks ago and had to grab it. As you can see, it's got sort of a brushed copper look. This model is actually called the Lincoln, and it just looks classy and antique and fun. It's a very solid pen. It feels very durable and sturdy when you hold it. It's got a very big, flashy nib, and it's just so much fun to write with. You feel like it's a pen that you could use to write declarations or other important documents. The next one is a TWSBI Eco, or a TWSBI 580, and it's the same brand as the one with the purple ink I just showed you, but unfortunately this one just ran out yesterday, so I don't have any ink I can show you with it, but it's another demonstrator piston filler, as you can see. This is the limited edition USA model, so it's the clear red and clear blue on the section and the cap and the end, and then it's also got the USA flag on the top of the cap, as you saw before. This is also a really nice pen. It's just very solid and big and broad, and it's fun to hold. So these are some of the pens that I like. I like all of the pens that I have, and there's a couple others that I have my eye on that I hope to get soon, but these are the ones that bring the biggest smile to my face when I pick them up to use them. And that's sort of what this whole hobby is about. You know, if you think about it, we use pens often. We use them every day to write things down, and I use them a lot at work. And, you know, you could use a cheap, pen that you can buy a 20-pack of for $1, which will write most of the time, but aren't a very fun experience, or you can get pens or tools that you really like to use that'll sort of make you happy every time you use them. And I definitely, obviously, vote for the latter. I think it's really important to, use quality, well-designed tools, especially when it's something that you use so frequently. Plus, as you can see with these inks, fountain pens are so customizable and fun that it's just a really, really great way to sort of add some fun and creativity and expression to your life. So I hope you liked this Thursday Top 5, Brian. I look forward to seeing your vlog tomorrow.